Hello everybody, Reaper X1 here again, back playing some more Terra Tech, and well, you know I love the R&D, so that's where I be. Hey, that even rhymed a little bit, nice. But before I get too far into any of this, I'd like to say welcome, thanks for joining me, glad to have you all back. Happy as heck that you found me for the first time, if that be the case. Right on. That way more of us can have fun all at the same time. So, as I've been in the last video there, I was working on a challenge build. Trying to make something cool that was land-based, no flight blocks, for a challenge that those fellows that grab it. Or there may be some gals there too. Sorry if I'm kind of missing out on anybody. But they got a challenge going for the People's Print. So it'd be a 3D tech, or a 3D print of a tech, the winning tech, done in plastic that is actually colored the right way for the game. So what you see in the game is roughly what you're going to see in real life. Little differences, because, reality is not quite a video game. Wow, the nice thing about it, if you didn't catch the last video, is they got two different size options. And one being 10 by 10 by 10, which is this one here. That's the size limit I'm using on this tech. You can already see where it's going, right? Yeah. And then the other one's the 5 by 5 by 5, which I kind of tried a little bit in the last one. Not quite as happy as I would have liked to have been with that. So there could be some more playing around with those before this is all over. Because I think the contest or the challenge ends... Ooh, that's a spinny one. It ends around, I think it's the 14th or so of next month. So there's some time. If you're interested, try her out. Build some. They're usually a lot of fun. Get in on it. Just go to the forums. There should be a link down in the description if you haven't ever been there before. And while you're there, hey, another thing you can think of, because if you like playing Terra Tech and you got some cool and original techs of your own, feel free to drop in on that Saturday showcase. There's a link down in the description too. That way, you can post your techs on my little thread, and I'll find them. I will. I can guarantee you I'll see them. And I'll make the best damn video I can out of them. That way, we can all have a ton of fun sharing our ideas. You might have heard this before, but I do like to inspire others. It's like the main goal of my channel. It's the main reason I decided to start my channel, is to share my ideas and to better explain what I was working on. So, it'd hopefully maybe help someone else. Because I got a lot of help from everybody and all that when I was first starting out. I figured it's the decent thing to do, is to return the favor. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out kind of the bottom skirt of this thing, because I want to keep a lot of ground clearance. I want it to look like a truck. I'm not really going for battle effectiveness, but how can you turn away from weapons? That's like silly when they're right there. Look at this thing though, it just scoots. I'm liking it. I don't know how I feel about those side missile launchers though. They kind of look out of place to me for some reason. Kind of have to wait and see what happens though. Usually when I add something, I give it at least a minute or two, and I work on something else while I'm giving it that minute or two and see how it all plays out. Because there's been times where it's surprised me. Because I've said it before, I don't plan. I just usually go by feel and what it looks like at the moment. Kind of spontaneous. How does that word go? Spontaneous. Yeah, that's the one I'm after. So yeah, kind of trying to rough out the front here. Because I want to keep it kind of, well, it has to be within the size limit, but I want it to be sort of flat. Because I got an overall idea for it. But I'm not too sure if I really want to go too far with it. Because what I'm thinking of doing, or what I'm thinking, not what I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna leave that open, not telling, no hints. But I want it to be able to like pitch up, stand on its front end, and hopefully not tip over and roll right over too easy. But I don't want to have a cube either, so I'm trying to be as minimalistic with the flat surface on the front as I can. Which ain't that easy when you're talking about square blocks and stuff. And I still want to try and squeeze in some firepower up there too, so it should be a challenge. And yeah, you can tell. They're offering colors. I'm using colors. Not just the average colors that are there. I'm going to use the green. Because I don't know, green's a good color. I like it. It's nice. But I will cover it. It'll be like an accent color. Because armor is important. I would like this thing to be usable in the campaign, as I try to do with just about all my techs. Even though they may look weird or specialized or not really meant for battle, most of the time they have some capabilities for in the campaign. Maybe it's just a harvester. Maybe it's a scout. But most of the time they have a purpose or a use. This guy, I'm hoping he's going to be a fairly good all-around kind of battle tech, even though he'll be a little lightweight in the firepower probably, because I am going for a look. As you probably noticed from my last couple videos, I kind of am showing my fondness for the Monster E trucks. And this is right along that line, as we probably all guessed by now. So yeah, I figure it's a good time. I better not wait too long. I want to get some of the recharging system in and, resource handling components. And like I said in the last one, since we can't really rotate those base blocks, it does make it a little bit of a challenge. It kind of restricts us in our possibilities. So I don't know, I've been nicely kind of hinting and suggesting every little chance I can. I don't want to seem like the guy that nags all the time about the same thing, but honestly, it would be nice to have that rotating the base blocks to any freaking direction we like possible again. Because, hey, it took a long time and many suggestions, but from what I've been hearing, we're going to be able to re-anchor text soon. And we can already store and unstore text. I think I missed on that little bit of the update in the last one. Yeah, that sucked too. I remember that. Crud. I had to cut it out. Oi, why'd I do that? But yeah, with this one, I'm trying to incorporate the important stuffs. And that's another thing, you notice that? Woohoo! We're moving in the build beam, man. Yeah! Look at this go. So there's another handy little feature that they've added. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. Just last second, like, bing, popped to mind. I was like, oh, I should show this. I don't know if everyone knows this yet. I didn't even know for the first second, and I'm a freaking canary. Not the little yellow bird. I'm just happen to be one of the guys that they allowed to test early. So it's one of those things that, it's a nice surprise because I haven't been able to go into the forums and have who knows how many people comment and start threads about, this is new, this is awesome. So it's like a complete surprise for me most of the time. I get a little bit of an info and heads up because the developers release little bits of things with every one of those, but still, it's a nice surprise nonetheless. Yeah, I'm really trying to do my best not to hide too much of that green, but I'm thinking the back end might, yeah, I'm kind of liking that too. Huh. I do not of the know. So yeah, like I always say, work in progress. You can never tell until it's all said and done, and usually when I'm finished my text, I'll name them whatever, and then I leave like enough room to put like X or X1. And that's like finished. The X1 usually means, oh, I thought it was finished, but then I changed something and now it's not. So, yeah. There's always room to improve stuff like this. Like, I'm sure yeah. I thought that was going to be a good idea, but it looks kind of silly. I'm going for more of the cool look. Not the, that's funny. But I don't know. It all has its goodness, though. As you can see, I've already got a decent little payload on this with the 4 launchers. A couple little repeating rifles. And there we are. Some rail guns. I like those rail guns. And now that they can kind of aim that little bit, it kind of lets you put them up that little bit higher. Yeah, there we are. That looks better in the eyes. Nice. See, that's one thing, since they're going to offer a 3D print with color, looking the way that it's supposed to in game, I want to throw a little bit of difficulty at them and see how it prints out with like the jack-o'-lanterns or the eyeball or the colored blocks and that. Because like everything, if you've watched my channel long enough, you probably know that I tend to like pushing the limits of this game, building big things, building kind of out there things that people may not even expect to be possible in this game. It's kind of what I like to do. I don't know, just not to really for any reason other than to like, I wonder if I could. That's my best reason for doing most of my things. Like even the stuff I make in real life, not just in a video game. Yeah, that looks nice. I'm liking that. Woohoo, jumping around like a bucking bronco. Like to see some cowboy stay on top of this thing for 8 seconds. That crap ain't happening. You can try, but I end up with a resource shot up his arse. That delivery cannon don't care what's above it. Well, yeah, there's the creative process. Put it on, take it off, switch it out. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm liking this. This is a fun little tech so far. And I'm hoping it'll even be able to sustain itself too. So that could be nice. It all depends on what it runs into, really. So if it gets into like a big fight with the enemy's tough as snot, ugh. Well, I guess snot ain't really that tough, eh? Huh. Yeah, I have to rethink that phrase, eh? Yeah, these angles, they're always fun to play with. Sometimes they're a pain to orient the way you want. Yeah, that just don't look right. Looks more like a van. I don't want a van. I want like a buggy-ish kind of looking truck that has a little bit of monster to it. Yeah, that's one thing I found real handy though, is that when you got a size limit, build something that is to that size limit and then don't go past it. So I almost had a bad experience with one of them once. I was like 1 over the limit just because I did a last minute adjustment and I forgot to recount the blocks. And I tell you, it would have sucked if it hadn't have been kind of adjusted. There, now like I'm trying to kind of keep it to the minimum. I don't want this thing to be all super enclosed and hard to use. I want to be able to have some options with the base part of this thing. So I figured a roll cage. That'll keep it open and still help with the coolness factor of it. And then I can still get in there, and I can change filters if I need, because hey, I might have to get rid of something different than rubber. It is possible. But yeah, like I was saying, this green probably is only going to be a little bit of a highlight. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass for the guys printing it. I just want to see what it's capable of. We'll see how many colors they got. Should make a tech with like every single colored block in it. Like a Rubik's Cube of colorness. That'd be something. Huh. Shall we try it? If you like the Rubik's Cube of color, throw a comment saying so down below, and I'll use that for my third entry. This is my first. I haven't put it up yet, but this will be one of my entries for the bigger size. But the Rubik's Cube of color, that'd be a good one. The only thing is, need the comments, need the votes for it. I don't want to waste an entry on something. Not really. I'm probably not going to actually enter it because honestly, it'd be funny, but it wouldn't really be that cool. Like this, I can see being cool eventually. It's getting there. It's almost there. It's just not quite there yet. Still those side missile launchers that are bothering me. The Venture ones. There's something about them. It squares it up too much. I don't particularly care for that. Yeah, a little more green maybe? Oh, I like the green. The green is nice. Yeah, maybe something like that. Oh yeah, I'll have an angry look always. Like, back off. You come at me, I'll look at you horribly. Yeah. Can always use more batteries too. Like, you don't want to skimp on the batteries. Like I just kind of almost did. There. Fill in the holes. That's usually what I do with batteries. As long as it doesn't mess up the look. See there, that looks like a better spot for those missile launchers. I am liking them a lot better there. And then look at the shape it gives the back end of that. It's got the beefy, I'm angry, kind of I'll drive through everything front. And then they're like, ooh, skinny arse, make sure I get by them trees. Yeah, that ain't working very good for me either. Even though it'll fire. Because they do get the nice little aim ability on the sides and up and down and all around with the missiles for Venture. Well, visually, I don't specifically care for it, honestly. We'll see. It's one of those times, again, where we'll change things around, do what we want, and see how it goes as it goes. It's like, I'm liking the look of the front. The only thing I would like better is if the angled Hawkeye blocks had the angle forward along the length of it, but also an angle to the side. So it was more of a corner block, but elongated along 2 or 3 spaces. That would be handy. It'd really help make things cool. I got thinking about stuff like that for this game because I got playing a different game, StarMade, if you guys have heard or haven't heard it, or haven't heard of it. That's another game I just recently kind of got introduced to and interested in. Got a couple videos out for it so far, but I hope to keep going because it's got some potential. It has motion where you can make things move easy, or way easier than in this game. So, something to keep an eye on maybe if you're interested. I'm really trying to use that eyeball. And I thought maybe if I do it like that, when someone runs up behind me and they get up behind me, they'll just like swing around and look at them. They're like, yeah. It's kind of a multiplayer, kind of creep them out kind of thing. It's like psychological warfare. You're going to attack me from the rear? Get the crazy eye. Or maybe it's a stink eye, because it says it's septic. Huh. Maybe it looks at you real nasty for too long, and then your tires fall off or something. So you go to a run in my wheels. Yeah, the lights would be nice, but I think that's what I'm liking. Get kind of the flatbed feel for it. And if I can find a way and I can manage it, I might even put a little dude inside this cab. I'm not sure. I'd like that idea, but I just don't think I could do it nicely and have him in the right position to make it look cool. It'd be all hidden and stuff by the front pillars there of the roll cage. But what can you do? Now this one, I thought it was just fun enough and everything just to kind of let this one slide over. I was going to really kind of cut some stuff out and speed things up even more than I've already done so far. But I really like it at this speed because I don't know, it makes me smile. Because like I've heard before, you can't rush the creative process. You can, but it doesn't really work out that great. Yeah, it does damage the guns a little bit. So that'll tell you right there, they stick out just a hair more than the other blocks. Yeah, I really want to put something on the back of that green, put some more armor there, but if I do, it'll count for another block, and then it'll be over the size. So that's no good. There's just something about the top there, those lights being on the side there, it bothers me a little bit. I might have to change some stuff. But as you can see, this thing handles pretty good. Like, it'll almost turn on a dime. Very little sidestepping on that. And it can also do that. Yeah, it's like the monster golf cart kind of deal. And here's just a little more of a kind of testing. This is all like normal speed. But yeah, I changed some stuff. I put wheels on the front there. This isn't part of my entry. I'm pretty sure I left the jack-o'-lanterns for my entry. But I put wheels on this one just so I could try some things, kind of walk it around. I got wheels on the back there too, you can see there. Just to see what's possible. I was kind of thinking of trying to make this be able to roll over the front, over the roof, and then up onto the rear end of it. So it could like do a front catwalk to a, oops, I'm upside down, to a back, to a normal catwalk. But I don't know if that's really going to be that easy, and I'd need more room. Or to make an overall smaller tech. I don't want to make a smaller one. I like this one. Because, yeah, small is actually more of a challenge, I find, than... Like, this size is fairly good. I could probably build quite a range of techs in this, but the bigger I can go, the better. Because I can make quite a difference if I'm given the room. And see, there we go. We got the back one. I imagine doing this while in the middle of a battlefield after it's all said and done. I'm victorious, of course. Yeah, that's one of the things. And then I'm just sitting there spinning while all the blocks come in and pull into the tops, the mobile SCU. That'd be freaking sweet, I think. Oh, couldn't get it. I was trying. Woo, yeah. Just trucking over everything. Oh. Yeah, I've been trying to do that, kind of balance her up there without having it sit right on the front end. It's harder than it looks. Oh. Kind of wonder how those people on like the crotch rockets do it, eh? That's all speed momentum, I think. But this is kind of like you gotta feather it. You don't have direct control over the power. Oh, I almost lost it. I thought I was gonna get to do a nice little tip up onto the front, but no, not quite. But yeah, that is some fun. So I think what I'm going to do about here is I'm going to call this one while I'm driving around trying out some stuff. So once again, thanks for joining me. I do appreciate all the awesome you guys bring, and you do realize, I hope, that you guys are the only ones that can bring that kind of awesome to a channel, and especially a little channel such as mine. And by leaving the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, and hopefully you ding the bell on top of that, it does fuel this said little channel. And I hope you never forget that there's always that Saturday Showcase, where your cool and original techs could have their own, very own video. All you gotta do is find my auditions link, or the Saturday Showcase auditions link down in the description underneath each and every one of my Terra Tech videos. And if you happen to have a few bucks you can spare, I do accept donations, because this is kind of a struggling little channel. And the extra little bonus is if you do happen to find my paypal.me link down there that is set up for a $2 donation and you use it, it will also get your name entered into a 3D printed tech draw, where you could possibly be the winner of said 3D printed tech. I got 5 pre-made, or you could just have the prize value to spend on the Grab It site for your own techs. And currently it's a $40 prize that's up for grabs. I've been offering it for a little while. I've been having a heck of a time trying to get my video made for it, but still in the works. But I am offering it before the video. If you're interested, all the information is down in the description. And once again, I do thank you. But until next time, keep being the awesome. Keep having a good one. Bye.